guys, welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, I managed to make it to locals today after a little bit of a hiatus, just not being able to make it and being super duper busy. Managed to get second place and pull this bad boy. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Yeah, look at that. Oof. Spicy OT blue in a penny sleeve nonetheless. I need to put a proper sleeve on it. But anyway, yeah, managed to go X1 at locals. It was a really small locals today. I don't even know what was going on. There was potentially 6 players, decent players at that, but there was very small numbers. I don't know, maybe it's because it's payday, maybe people are just busy, but it is what it is. But anyway, matchups, I went against Branded round 1, got absolutely clapped, got Gimme Puppet locked game 1, and then just got out grinded game 2. I think he resolved Allure of Darkness twice, which just put him so ahead in card advantage, and just meant that I couldn't do a lot. I also got Kaiju'd as well, which is crazy in Branded. But anyway, lost against Branded. Then I played against Crystal Beast, and boy oh boy, Golden Rule is definitely a card, ladies and gents. Something that I'm probably gonna mess about with myself. Just being able to just pop off with that card. I think it special summons from hand or grave, and then crystallizes 2 monsters from your deck, which is just crazy. So I managed to beat that. And then I played against Labyrinth. I did actually bring Labyrinth, and I was considering playing it myself, but I decided against it at the last minute. And yeah, I managed to 2-0 Labyrinth. Ninja Mosquito OTK for the win, basically. So yeah, so I'm gonna give you my list, ladies and gents, just so you can have a look at it. It's not the most optimal of Spright lists, but it's a list nonetheless, and I might be making a few tweaks to it. I don't know if I'm going to play like the live twin engine or even kind of like look into Runic and that, but I'm not really a fan of Runic. I like my battle phase. I like to punch over monsters, so yeah. But anyway, let's just get straight into the profile, ladies and gents. Catch you in the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, the infamous Soul Fusion sneak peek mat is back. This is where I lab most of my decks if I'm not playing it online. But anyway, let's just get straight into the list. Now, there's obviously a better way to play Spright, ladies and gents. I'm not gonna lie. The list that I'm running, I did run what is quote unquote the meta Spright Malfi list, but I found it so boring. I'm not gonna lie. So I decided to put a few of my own techs in, which I'll talk about when we go through them. So start off with the list. Run triple blue, obviously. This is just, yeah, this just gets everything going, so say no more. Triple Spright Jet, yep, you already know, ladies and gents. The double red, I felt like I needed a double red, to be honest, especially with how there's lack of recursion in the deck at the moment. Once things find themselves in the graveyard, it's really difficult to get them back out. Yes, Spright can pop off with 1 card, most notably starter, but the recovery is a lot more difficult, should I say. And I think that's where some people have started playing the live twin engine to try and compensate for that, because the live twins can effectively play with their graveyard, whereas Spright don't really interact with their graveyard much since the banning of Spright Alpha, which was needed, to be honest. I'm also rocking the 1 carrot as well as the 1 pixies. Again, I'm trying to OTK. I'm not trying to waste time going into a grind game with Spright. I'm looking to just kill you as quickly as possible. Next up for the Spright Engine, obviously the double starter, just goes without saying. These smashers as well as the Spright double cross. Double cross easy side out going into game 2, depending on whether you won it or not, especially games 2 and 3. It's a really difficult card to play around for your opponent. They kind of have to really think about what they're doing, and I do really like double cross. And I also played the Gamma Burst. This won me probably about 60% of my games today, basically playing in locals, which was crazy. So yeah, so that's it for the Spright Engine, quote unquote. Next, we'll do some generic spells and traps before we get into the rest of the engines. Triple Pot of Prosperity. This card's going to get banned one day, and yeah, I'm going to cry when it does, but it is what it is. It needs to get banned. It's just the consistency that it provides to most decks that don't need a plethora of monsters from their extra deck is just crazy. Digging 6, finding side deck cards, silly. Double talents, I could potentially bump this up to 3 with the prevalence of hand traps, and especially going second as well. The talents does really come into play, and most notably it's the hand rip for me. Normally I'm resolving prosperity, I'm either getting ash or whatever, and then I'm like either hand ripping or I'm doing something with talent, so it always feels like it's live, especially with the amount of hand traps in the format. Also, 1 Monster Reborn, this is a nice little tech. Like I said earlier, Spright don't really play with the graveyard, but having a blue in graveyard and special summoning off Monster Reborn is effectively like having another another starter, so I definitely went with the Monster Reborn. And then one Call by the Grave because hand traps seem to be everywhere. Also, I hit this Call by the Grave. I hit one. I think I hit Q-Clock as well as Chandra Gilia in the Labyrinth matchup, and they just literally just couldn't do anything. They just went so neg just by getting hit by the Call by the Grave. So I can see why that card's at 1. Now, on to the next engine. This is the card that I want to speak about. This is a nice little spicy tech that I decided to include. It's basically an extender, but what I've been doing with this card is special summoning it to, most notably, Appaloosa Zone. So, Fallen of Argyros, I think it's, in terms of the lore, it's the Endless Argyros system from the Therion one, you know, the one that allows you to like dump a Therion card from your deck to the graveyard and then it kind of like recycle one back to your hand and then it goes back to deck itself. But level 2 can special summon himself if you control a Link, rank or level 2 monster, so it's literally just an extender for Spright. If you special summon him to a zone a Link monster points to, that Link monster can't activate its effect, so I literally just switched off an Appaloosa just for free basically. It also allows you to detach materials as a quick effect from an XYZ monster on the field, which is another niche interaction. It doesn't really come up as much as you would think it does, but it can potentially stop a Zeus line, which is crazy. So definitely keep that in mind, ladies and gents. But I think this card's nice. Not a lot of people are talking about it, and I managed to Ninja Mosquito OTK my opponent one time, special summoning this card to a zone that Appaloosa was pointing to. And then kind of like just playing through the rest of his board, knowing that his Appaloosa was turned off, which was crazy. And I didn't even attack into the Appaloosa, I just basically watched all of its bodies die, which I thought was funny. But Falling of Argyros, nice little tech, nice little extender. There are other cards that you could potentially play, obviously, but I just like this for as an extender in Spright. Next, obviously, we've got the Nimble package. So Triple Beaver goes without saying. The Double Angler, yeah, nothing needs to be said about those, very straightforward. Also, the Mouthy package, we're running Catty and Pinny. Herald of Arclight is a nice card. I see it is effectively like a, it buys you another turn basically, because most decks can't play for a Macros Cosmos, hence why Kashtira is so strong. And having one on the field, as well as having an Omni Negate basically is super duper strong. So I do like the Mouthy stuff for that reason. I was also playing the Ibli, ladies and gents. I might even potentially take this out. There's so many other lines that you'd rather do than just try and Ibli lock your opponent. It does work from time to time, and if your opponent's not ready for it, it will win you the game. But everybody's aware of it now, and it's very, very easy to play around, especially with like enemy controller being in the format. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a little bit undecided about this card, so I might even potentially take it out. Next, Double Fenrir. I need another one. I've got another one, but I refuse to play the OTS Ultimate, so I'm playing 2 for now. Just in case you want to sell that one. And people seem to just throw your cards around when they're reading them, so I'll just stick with the Ultras. Next, for some hand traps and board breakers, 3 Ash Blossom. Branded is still a deck. I got clapped by Branded first round today. It was horrible. Got Gimmick Puppet locked. Didn't see Ash. Went first the next game. Got ashed on, I think I got ashed on my Jet, which I kind of needed to resolve. I set up the Ibli lock, which just literally did nothing. It was a waste of time basically, so yeah. But Triple Ash goes without saying. Triple Imperm, plays around talents, plays around thrust, plays around Call by the Grave, you know what it is, infinite impermanence. And then I ran the 2 Kaijus, ladies and gents, the Godala. Now I know I mentioned this when I did the profile online, but the Godala is really nice. This allowed me to Ninja Mosquito OTK, so as long as you can make Ninja Mosquito and you can put 3 other bodies on board, which is not difficult in Spright, you can go into this bad boy and this just absolutely just pops. This is crazy, like just attacking into this and burning for 27 each time, just yeah, it feels nice. So that's it for the main deck, ladies and gents. Onto the extra deck, starting with the links. Double Spright Sprint. This could just be 1 Spright Sprint, to be honest. I decided to go for 2. There are some times when you resolve him once and you don't fully just burn through all the nimble stuff, so you can resolve him again. But most notably, you don't really need him, to be honest, at 2. You can get away with 1 quite easily, so that's probably something I might change going forward if we continue to play this deck. Nightmare Phoenix as well as the one Nightmare Cerberus. Again, quite interchangeable. Phoenix, yes. Cerberus, I don't know if you need him as much, to be honest. So definitely a little bit of contention right there. And then obviously the one Herald of the Arclight for the Synchro Monsters. Then on to the XYZs, we run in double gigantic Spright, goes without saying. I've seen most lists play too. You can resolve him multiple times, especially with the way Sprites play, so yeah. My favourite card in the deck, Ninja Shadow Mosquito. This is the main reason I play this deck. Just being able to OTK with this card feels so nice, and it gives Spright a little bit of another element, because previously, without this card, the biggest weakness for Spright was that their monsters were super duper squishy. But this card just says, nah, I'm gonna kill ya, basically. So this is why I like it. The one Sky Cavalry, again, this is probably a little bit contentious. Jin Buster, nice reprint right there, as well as Mannequin Cat. I don't really go into Mannequin Cat as much as I should do, mainly because I play a little bit of different line, and I tend to just use the mouthy stuff as my last like rank 2 to make. So yeah. Onibimaru, the Soul Sweeper, again, nice little thing. Go into Zeus, basically, banishes a monster. One Malfi of the Forest, goes without saying, as well as the Downerd and the Zeus. So pretty straightforward extra deck, ladies and gents, for the most part. And whilst we're here, I'm going to quickly go through the side deck. Nothing fantastic. Definitely interchangeable. You know what side decks are like, ladies and gents. You can mold them to your own desires. Triple Nibiru, there's some people that like to overextend, a few players that play Vanadium, so yeah, Nib does come in handy. The Bestial stuff, so the double Magnum as well as the Jerusalem, again, Math Mech used to be a thing, it isn't no more, but Branded is still definitely a deck, and players like to play Branded, so this definitely helps out. I probably wouldn't main it, but it's definitely, Bestials are very, very powerful in the side, I'm not going to lie, ladies and gents. As well as this card, Dimension Shifter, very polarizing in the community. Does it need to be banned? Does it not need to be banned? I think it's a fair and balanced card. If you don't resolve it on your first turn, it's a brick in your deck, and you've got 3 of them. So yeah, but if you do resolve it, it potentially could win you the game. And Spright don't get hurt as much by this playing Dimension Shifter as you would think. They can play through it a little bit. The boards are a little bit weakened, but Dimension Shifter just shuts off a load of decks, ladies and gents. Going first card, Solemn Judgment. This is specifically for Dark Really No More or Dark Hole. Dark Really No More is making a bit of resurgence, and that's one thing that Spright are really, really weak to. So having something that can mitigate that helps. And then finally, for some back row removal, evenly matched. This card's good again. Those huge negate boards are still a thing, but they're just not as prevalent no more. So evenly matched is definitely a card you will be able to resolve from time to time. So yeah. And that is it, ladies and gents. Hopefully you enjoyed the list. I'm not too sure if I'm going to play Spright going forward. I don't know. I get itchy feet and I just want to play something different. And I feel like I've done enough Spright. I've Ninja Mosquitoed OTK'd, which was the main reason I played it. And I don't know. It's just, yeah, maybe I need to try and play a different variant of it just to kind of like see. Because I feel like the mouthy stuff is okay. But then I feel like there's something else that I could put in a deck in its place and just still be equally as terrifying a board. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we find ourselves at the end of another video. As always, if you did like this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.